Betty, and I cover true crime, and we're covering the case of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Sorry, I was recording a video. I did kind of forget that I already scheduled this, and I was going to drop a video and do a voiceover and all of this, and then all of a sudden, right after I got done recording, some statements from this new nonprofit. Took notes, as I always do. Excuse me. Please Bring Me Home, a nonprofit out of Canada called Please Bring Me Home. So it's nice to see you. I'm Bullhorn Betty. I cover true crime. We're covering the case of Lilly and Jack Sullivan, and I was actually going to do a video and post that video, but since this is already scheduled, I must have got ahead of myself. And so either way, let's get caught up on this case. Lilly and Jack, as many of you guys know, has been missing since May 2nd of this year. They have not been seen or heard from since. They were reported as wandering off into the woods or wandering from their home at minimum, wandering from their home. But many speculate a little darker. Many speculate that maybe the mom or stepdad may have had something to do with their disappearance. These children, although they were rambunctious, seem to get a lot of injuries. And both of them have been reportedly wearing black eyes in the past. And most recently, on April 30th, Lilly was reported as to having a black eye from a Tonka truck on the floor. So the woods are thick. I hear somebody saying it, so I need to grab my pen. The woods are thick. So let me go and say hi to everybody. It's nice to see you. Let me go up. Sonia's up in the house. It's nice to see you. She saved me. I was just sitting here. I will be honest with you. I was downloading a video on the phone that I'm on right now. I was watching Devious Maids. That was Delilah. You guys can't see her. You guys kind of can. There she is. She behind me. She got me probably riding on my shoulder on this video. I don't know why, but she's got this thing where she likes to, get behind me now. So I let her get comfortable and get behind me. I think it's because I blocked the air conditioning. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyways, these two kids allegedly were playing outside the morning that they disappeared. They were at the house the night before, allegedly. But even Daniel's story is starting to change, and I don't want to go through it right now because we're not on the big screen, and I can't bring up the Drunk Turkey Show's interview or, show you guys some things that was talked about. You guys need to hear it verbatim in order for you guys to understand. So, Gigi for life, it's nice to see you. Pebbles, Deanna, hello. Melanie, it's nice to see you. Who else do we have? Crystal, it's nice to see you. Mama. Hello, Linda, it's nice to see you. Deanna, I think I said hi to you, Crystal. Sorry, I was a little late. Ganja girl, I always get a kick out of that. Annette Conway, it's nice to see you. Tina, hey, wanna be sleuthin'? It's nice to see you, Lovebug. Phil, Jewel, and Big Back Mike, nice to see you. I think we got just about Elaine, it's nice to see you. Hot damn. Hello. Donna. Oof. Woo! That's starting to burn, baby. Burn, baby, burn. Allie, it's nice to see you. I'm gonna switch it up. This one hurts a little bit. I don't want to aggravate because I just got this shoulder settled down. Kentucky Life, it's nice to see you. Tanya, Robin, hey. Melinda, it's nice to see you. Mama Bear. Annette, if I forgot to say hi to you, good afternoon. Jelly Bean, it's nice to see you. A little bit of everything. Hey. Sandy. Oops, I just accidentally. Inga, it's nice to see you. Bookworm up in the house. YouTuber. Sandy, it's nice to have you. Well, hello. I think I'm through everybody. Okay, so we have some updates. I haven't been following this case. Are you comfortable, or do I need to take a pillow away? You got it? Okay, good girl. So I hadn't checked on this case in a while, and I figured I would check on it. Me love song soup long time. Me love soup long time, if I could read. Aw, thanks, Pebbles. Jody C, it's nice to see you. Shadow, hey. All right. So, let's just kind of go refresh ourselves. Hey, Oakley, it's nice to see you. me love soup long time. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm having problems. Okay, I'm getting old. We're not going to talk about it. Denise, did I say hi, Oakley? I'm not sure if I said hi to you or not. Barbosa, it's nice to see you. Hey. Oh, good gracious. Uh-oh. What's going on, Ganja? Okay, so let's just do some history here on May 2nd of this year. These two children allegedly wandered off from their home. We kind of have our own feelings. Mom left May 3rd, like the very next day, and never came back. Blocked the boyfriend, Daniel Martell. Daniel Martell kept rolling like everything's just all right? And he was just being a little bit overly helpful and all this other stuff, you know? And so there was just something not right about him, or at least he never warmed up to me, okay? I'm not going to lie. He never warmed up to me. I'm trying to see things in different lights, but, you know, it's hard to, because their behavior has been ultra sus. His behavior was odd the very day that everything was going on. He's running through the woods, running through, you know, streams and lakes, allegedly. He said he was wading through water up to his hips. I mean, just craziness, okay? People don't act like that when they're, you know, they're looking for the children, they're hollering, but they ain't going diving in water. I mean, I've been on a lot of searches before, and it's not something that we just do. Hey, Mike, it's nice to see you. But his behavior, at least the explanation of his behavior that morning, seemed pretty erratic. And then you couple that with Malehya's strange, very calm behavior when she was giving the one interview that she gave, and then, you know, she just disappears. She was there 1 minute and just leaves, and she never returns. She doesn't even go back to get her vehicle. I mean, come on, guys. That is, to me, highly suspicious behavior. But now we're fast forwarding. It's been 6 months. These kids haven't been found. Now, there have been other children that have gone missing, and they've been either found alive or deceased in Canada. So we know that when kids go missing, they're usually found either alive or deceased in Canada. And so this nonprofit, again, called Please Bring Me Home. It sounds like it's a Canadian nonprofit organization. It sounds like they've been very successful in multiple... Oh, Dee's Mystery, it's nice to see you. Hello from the bushes. Well, we love your support. Thank you so much. Denise says, look, I have horrible teeth and never done. Some people do. My best friend did too. My best friend had cancer of the mouth, and so she lost a lot of her teeth a long time ago, you know. And so there are other things that do affect people. My cousin, he just didn't really take care, you know, of his. He was just, I don't know, something was. I don't want to say this publicly. Never mind. That's that thing, that pop mouth, where it goes from here and right out there. Cause I'll just say what I was going to say, because something wasn't right with him. That's what I really wanted to say. He's just one of them. Remember I told you about the family, how we love our family, but you know, we got a few nuts. We'll save that one for another time. Okay. So this nonprofit decides to come out because this is Nova Scotia. So they have, from my understanding, very brutal winters. I have never been through a brutal winter. My cousin used to live in either North Dakota or South Dakota. I can't remember which one, but one, he was in his apartment for like half a year, and like it really gives you cabin fever. And I just remember that. But he's been through brutal weather. My aunt and uncle went to go visit him, and they pulled up in a blizzard. So they've been in brutal weather. I have not been in brutal weather that I can remember. I might not. It obviously wasn't that bad because it's not coming to the top of my head. But I don't remember ever being in a blizzard. Okay, let me just put it like that. So they decided to go ahead and push this search through and ask for some volunteers. It sounds like about 30 volunteers searched. They got some good searching in, and they found some items. Those items of concern were some articles, as well as a box with some stuff in it that I think had Daniel Martell's name on it. And of course, their explanation is he has obviously lived there his entire life, and he might have some things, but there was a box on the water's edge that had stuff in it that belonged to Daniel Martell, it sounds like. Let me just go through the few takeaways, and then I'll read the article to you. And I guess I'll just go, oh, thank you, Emily. I'm glad I didn't miss it. I turned my head too much. Thank you. Aww. Thankful heart. I love that. Thank you. Aww. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right. So let's read this. So they had about 30 volunteers. A few items were found, but nothing relevant to the kids. Jack has since turned 5. Volunteers, part of them were, some of those volunteers were family or friends of the family, and they did feel very disappointed. They were really hoping to find something, and they found nothing. So there was one last item on my list here, but I'm going to hold that because I think this is the breaking news. And I think this is finally some relevance, something that we've kind of felt for a really long time, but everybody's been kind of saying, no, this is not what it is. No, this can't be it. No. So let me read this article, and kind of when it gets closer to the end, it's going to give you my last item on my list, and then we'll further discuss. But I mean, aw, thank you, Allie, for the floating heart. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thankful heart. Oh, thank you, Ganja girl. Oh, you guys are so sweet. You guys are so sweet. True Crime Justice, it's nice to see you. Phoenix Rising, hello, love. Hello, love. So after a grueling day, and man, I gotta tell you, these are my kind of people, searchers and stuff like that. Obviously, they've been through this stuff before, but they were describing real searching, not this stuff. I mean, I just like hearing it, just knowing that they really got to push it. I just want to keep telling you guys, like, these 2 children have been missing for 6 months, and look how many searches they've got. Look how many searches they've got. Do you honestly believe that Sumner County is truly searching for Sebastian Rogers? I'm just asking. Because it really, I got to tell you, there's nothing that burns my ass. Aw, thank you, Robin. Because I'm a love machine. Because, we couldn't get but 8 days out of them. And it's like, what, we did the best we could. Bye-bye. And look at this. Look at this. These people keep going out and keep going out and keep going out. And when it's not the RCMP, it's nonprofits. And when it's not nonprofits, it's back to RCMP. Like, I mean, somebody is always searching for these kids. Look at the Elijah Vu. Look at those private searchers, man. they never quit. Those volunteers, they never quit. Bullhorn Betty's a love machine. Ow! No. But they never stopped looking. And why is it that Sumner County stopped looking? We're going to talk about that. Somebody sent me something that was very, very interesting. I'm going to look into a little bit of background history. Oh, thank you, Robin, because I'm in love with you. I'm worth the flower. Ooh, I smell so pretty. Ooh, ooh, ooh. No. Hey, Barbara, it's nice to see you. B. Betty fan, Gigi, Phil. Hey, guys, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. I just feel bad for Sebastian. I really do. He's just been shit on, aw, party hat. You know, and it just sucks. It just really, really, really sucks. So after a grueling day wading through rushing river waters and climbing through dense woods, some family members of 2 missing Nova Scotia children were left disappointed that their last-ditch efforts searching for the siblings before the snow flies did not result in a breakthrough. The happy poop, life in a rough song. I love the golden poop. Why can't we poop gold? I mean, it would kind of hurt a little bit. I kind of understand why, probably not, but still, I wish it was just that easy. I'm just saying. No, that would kind of be gross. Something, like maybe like money growing on trees. There we go. I think that's a little less disgusting. But I do love the golden poop. I like the golden poop because it's cute. It's cute and happy. We went to Tennessee. We went to the sheriff's department and drove past. Aw, thank you. Melanie gifted a Bullhorn Betty membership, and Who's Your Mama received it. Welcome to this crazy. Who's Your Mama's been around a while. Well, welcome to the crazy family. We call the coffee club. I eat the I love. Ah! Grab your straight jacket in your padded room. I feel like I'm going to be needing a straight jacket after tonight. No. What did I just do? Did I turn my camera off? There we go. The disco ball. All right. So after they went through the grueling day, they did find a few items. They were discovered searching, during the search for Lilly and Jack Sullivan on Saturday. This just recently happened. This just happened this past Saturday in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia. But the RCMP says nothing was relevant to the children, unfortunately. About the 30 volunteers did descend on this area. They wanted to have one final push before the winter storms came through. They did say that they will be back out there, hopefully for the springtime. Many had hoped they would find the children. That's not what happened today. And Angeline, which is a childhood friend of Malehya, says that I do feel that we have more questions, especially with finding things throughout the wood. I do feel disappointed, her friends say. Lilly and Jack were reported missing on May 2nd by their mother. We all know about that. Their disappearance sparked an extensive grid search that spanned 8.5 square kilometers through dense wood. I'm hearing this area is very, very dense, folks. Okay, that area around their house is really not conducive for kids, wandering off and just falling into, the woods. I mean, it's hard to get through the woods. As an adult, and I've got to imagine as a child, there can't be a whole lot that's going through those woods unless they're smaller, four-legged type of creatures. Definitely not human beings standing upright. So they had about 160 ground search and rescue volunteers, service dogs, drones, helicopters. We've watched it. We watched it unfold. They brought in the cadaver dogs, which also searched 40 kilometers over 3 days in September. So Saturday's search was led by this nonprofit, this Ontario-based nonprofit, Please Bring Me Home. Volunteers, many of them families and friends of the children, gathered at Union Center Community Hall and were split into 6 groups destined to cover roughly 5 kilometers along the banks of the middle river of Pictou. So Nick Oldreeve, I think is how you pronounce Oldreeve. I could be wrong. I might have his name pronunciated completely wrong. Executive director of the organization said that the search was focusing on the waterways that may have moved or concealed clues during the initial search. And again, they did find a box that had Daniel Martell's name associated with. Enough time has passed now to revisit these waterways in other areas. That is high probability if the theory is that they wandered off. He drove 18 hours from his home to manage the search. His organization also ran a search on Friday in the Spring Hill area for Jesse Morrissey, who had been missing since February 2022. He's Please Bring Me Home has helped more than 50 missing people since 2018. Last year, they located the remains of Eric Spencer in Honey Harbor, Ontario, who had been missing for 6 years. On Saturday, crews were faced with extreme challenging conditions. So we're hearing it's getting rough out there, raging waters and all that kind of stuff. At the time, volunteers were forced to wade through waist-deep water, climb through dense trees, and push back through thick brush, all the while keeping their eyes peeled for clues. Very difficult, folks. It is very difficult. Those efforts did result in a few items. They sent that, but they hold no relevance. One was a child's black T-shirt with a blue design on it that was sent to Malehya's mother, or Malehya, but she did not know what it was. Give me just a second. A neighbor bringing back over their pen. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So it was a black shirt, and this is what was Daniel's. It was was it a geocaching kit? I think it was a geocaching kit because it had papers and trinkets and posted GPS coordinates to the app for other peoples to find. But the kit had logbook containing the name of the children's stepfather. It read Daniel Martell. Excuse me, sorry, I'm getting pulled. It read Daniel Martell, but it's from 2014, and stated that he left a 2012 quarter there. A blue blanket was found and a child's bicycle. So none of those were relevant to the case at all. So long story short, and they came across bones wrapped in a blanket, but their anthropologist determined that they were animal bones. So that was still nothing. That had to have been pretty scary. They had an intense interaction with a local property owner, but that was resolved. And so they found these few items and sent them off, but nothing garnered any interest. And so after this whole entire search, this seasoned searcher stated that he does not believe it is likely that that they wandered into the woods. He said it was very unlikely, in his opinion, that they had wandered into the woods. And I gotta tell you, that is just, I don't think anybody believes they wandered into the woods. I really don't. Because Lilly and Jack, they lived around there for at least 3 years. I know. Did you guys say Ava?
Hey guys, hopping in on my Sunday evening to talk about this new article.
Okay, every time I end up hitting this thing, but there was a video. I think it's this one right here.
A last-ditch effort before winter hits.
Yeah, I'll play this one for you guys.
Jack Sullivan
this is
and his 6-year-old sister Lily. These volunteers split into 6 groups
and spent a day in the woods of Lansdowne, the rural Nova Scotia community where the siblings were reported missing on the morning of
Look at
May
those
2nd.
woods. They're brutal.
The nonprofit group Please Bring Me Home made the trip from Ontario to coordinate people on the ground.
So this will be our side. We're going to follow it way down. Eventually, we're going to turn the river and we follow it up past Lansdowne Lake.
About 30 people volunteered to take part in this search, most of them family and friends. All
trying to keep the light out of it and open my...
any clue that will lead them to Jack.
Hold on. Let me open my water. I want you to hear his statements. I'm just going to get up to him because I want you guys to hear the statements. Okay, here it is.
Yeah, but teams did find a few items of interest.
And it looks like it has like underwear, like it's been burned. And
Weird.
It's t-shirts, so it's a unique design. So we took a picture, we sent it to the RCMP. They then spoke to family and they said that it's not something they recognize.
Volunteers also came upon a child's bicycle, a blue blanket, and an old geocaching kit with the children's stepfather's name in it.
That's why it's so important to relook, like especially before snowfall, and have a third party come and just take a peek. Not that we're no better than anybody else, it's just having a third party come look is so important.
But at times, it got tense. One property owner refused entry where there are signs for no trespassing.
Why are you trying to stop us from finding them?
You have what?
We weren't in the
Two
field.
very dangerous animals.
What animals are they?
Two rams.
A roller coaster of emotions for everyone involved, especially those who love Lilly and Jack.
It'd be discouraging if none of it means anything. So I'm really hoping that something has turned up. Evidence of something, anything will do.
I do feel disappointed too. The main output I was looking for was finding the kids, and that's not what happened today. I do feel like we have more questions, especially with finding things throughout the woods.
The RCMP says none of the items found are relevant to the investigation, but with everyone feeling unsettled, the volunteer group now plans to bring in cadaver dogs to do continued targeted searches this week. Angela McIver, CBC News, Lansdowne.
He said that he thinks it's highly unlikely they wandered off. And so I think that's really leaving what many people have been kind of suspecting. I mean, if a child wandered off, you would find them laying out on top of the ground, much like they eventually found Travis Decker. You know, he wasn't under, he was, you know, he had did what he did to his children, and he wandered off and, you know, kind of succumbed wherever he succumbed to. And that's where they ultimately found him. He wasn't, you know, underneath or anything like that. And but somebody that's trying to conceal, you're not going to find them on top of the ground. You're never going to find them again. And I received this report, but I don't want to read it here. I want to read it tomorrow when we're discussing Sebastian Rogers' case, because it goes directly to Sebastian Rogers' case. But I think we can like really apply that here in a sense. We can apply some of the statistics in this report to, you know, a few of the cases that we have covered and will cover into the future. So I don't know. I just think when it comes to Lilly and Jack's case, they have been searched for. Aw, thank you, Pammy. It's nice to see you. I appreciate that. When they come and search, and when they're not searching and nonprofits coming in to search, it's like, you know, everybody's trying to just find these children. But when you look at like Sebastian Rogers' case, which happened in 2024, not in 2025, where these cases, 2024. And to think that out of all that time, they had one search, 8 days, and never paid him attention again. Sebastian, it breaks my heart because, he told his a counselor, at least my understanding was that he felt like his mom didn't love him or something to that effect. And it's like, I look at this whole entire community and it's like nobody has done anything for Sebastian. They really haven't. They had the facade. They had the song and the show pony, dog and pony show. They say, So I don't know. I wanted to come here. I was going to do a video, but since this live was already set up, I figured I'd go ahead and just explain what's going on. So, Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Jack just turned 5. Aw, thank you. Happy poop. Happy poop. Like Ken Guy, it's nice to see ya. I hope you're doing well. So, we'll see. I'm monitoring this. I wasn't expecting to have, I forgot, I did hear about a search, but we've been having so many things, I've been kind of pulled 1,000 different directions. I haven't kept my mind on, just one case. So, this one I was just doing some searching on to see what was going on in the case, and I realized they had just done this search on Saturday, and that it turned up some things, but then they didn't, like the stuff that it did turn up wasn't affiliated with the kids at all. It sounds like some people from Malehya's friends and circle were there trying to help search. But Malehya left. So I feel like it's Daniel or Malehya. I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on inside that house. But you know what? I have to think that it was pretty intense there for their own mother or his own mother to move out to her own place because it was driving her crazy. And I don't know. I just think that I don't know. It had to have been pretty toxic. I have never seen a mother leave an area where her children were last seen so quick. Like, I've never seen... I'm still in shock that the mother's never been back. That the mother's never, went to the public. That the mother's, just... She's almost as bad as Katie Proudfoot. But what happened? What'd you guys do? People in Tennessee are too scared to search. Something like that. What are you guys doing? I hear everybody laughing, but I'm like, what are you guys doing? Hey, Inga, nice to see you. Yeah, I want all these kids found. I wish parents would just... Like, these parents are just violent. I mean, if you're getting to the point where you're flying off the handle, I mean, go get some freaking help. Go get some freaking help. Hey, it's me, Jen. It's nice to see you. JH, hello, loves. I think the BHB team will help produce great results in the future. BHB will... BHB will say, I told you so. I don't have a lot to say on this case here because it's all the way in Canada, and Bullhorn Betty is not going to Canada. Hell to the nah. I'm not getting a passport. I like the United States just fine, okay? I put the disclaimer on this case, okay, at the beginning of this case. This is a case, no matter what happens in this case, we'll be doing this poolside, okay? I'm just saying. Belinda, I feel, my heart breaks for her. I feel so bad for her. She was put in a very bad position because she's a grandma. She seems like a normal grandma. And her own son didn't want anything to do with the children after Malehya took off with them. I mean, I'm sure that hurt her to her soul. Because that affected her relationship with her grandchildren. And she dealt with it. You can see the pain in her eyes, but she dealt with it and she tried her best to have a relationship with Malehya. Much different than what Rubiel's family did. Cody's family, Cody's mom tried to have a relationship with Malehya. And as you can see, she seems very, very nice. She's not talking about wanting to punch Malehya in the face. You know, she's not showing those types of behaviors and tendencies like Lily Dinez is. But, you know, I mean, if you want to play, you know, put the, you know, show tomatoes and tomatoes and potatoes and potatoes and apples and oranges, I figured we just say it just like that. I'm just saying there's a lot of, you know, the grandmother in this case seems like she cares, and you know, she just wants what's best for the children. You know, from my understanding, she never tried to take these children from Malehya. She never tried to not honor Malehya. I mean, even to this day, you've never heard her say horrible or nasty things about Malehya. You know, and I can tell you that Malehya probably has some emotional trauma and some things that don't seem right. I mean, obviously, she ran off a day after her kids went missing. So she clearly has something wrong upstairs, because nobody in their right mind would do some stupid, you know what, like that. Just saying. We've all done some dumb stuff, but that takes the cake. Phoenix. I felt DM was trying to reassure Malehya about something by saying certain things a while, but me too. I think that's really why. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head of why I never felt comfortable with him. There was just something about him. It seemed like he was too smart for his britches. And what do I mean by that? It's like it seemed like he knew what to say and when to say it. He's very, in my opinion, overall opinion of him is he's very conniving and cunning. And I think that comes with him being a substance abuse user. And I truly do believe he was using, you know, at the time all of this was going on. I've been hearing rumors that Malehya's partying right now. You know, I don't know how true that is because nobody sees her, right? But I've been hearing that because I told you, there's no way that somebody's going to be with somebody and not be, you know, doing the same thing. So, and she left, and it's like, you know, she still has, but from my understanding, they are supposed to be, you know, being tested so they can see Meadow, and from my understanding, they both are. That's why I said it's a rumor, and I wanted to give you guys all the information. But I am hearing the rumors that it's possible that Malehya's partying. I know we saw her at the beach, and I wouldn't classify that as partying necessarily, but it was definitely having a good time when you got two children missing. I've never. Parents just don't go out to enjoy themselves. Some go and shake off some steam, and I've had some people go to like the gym, you know, or go to a shooting range, you know, something exerting. I don't know. I just thought I was offended that she was at the beach. You know, I think that was what it was. I think anything, no matter what she could have done, I don't even think it mattered if she was out to dinner or feeding, you know, doing something that you'd have to do just to survive. I don't think it would matter. I think no matter what, we would still be angry because it's like your child is missing. And you're not there searching for your child, but you have time to stuff your face, or you have time to go to the beach, or you have time to go to the gym, or, you know, you have time to go to the shooting range. You know, how dare you, you know? But all the other parents that have done those things, such as, you know, different outlets, going to the gym or something like that, those parents were searching for their kids nonstop, and they needed downtime. That's a big difference than sitting on your bum and running away from your children and then going out to a beach. You know, I'm sorry, it tastes bad on the lips, you know? It tastes bad. There's a difference because one set of family members are actively searching and need the break. The other one is not doing anything and then is seen enjoying themselves, so to speak. Vacation, right? The Chris and Katie effect. Good gracious. horrible parents strike again. I truly believe. I think this is going to be another one of those horrible parents strike again. But it's sad because they're about to go through a brutal winter, and I just can't imagine what the heck these two kids could have possibly done. It's just hard because you got to try to think of all the possibilities of two children, losing their life around the same time. And there's only one way of that, just somebody losing their shit. And, it's just like that. Or, in my opinion, they got into something, like they ingested something that they shouldn't have. And it was, by the time whatever happened, they were gone, And it's kind of like, oh crap, what do we do now? Well, we got to get, hide them. And just because they're scared. Something like that. And that might have been the reason why, I don't know. But I think whatever happened, two kids, just look at the statistics of it, folks. Hey, Kelly, it's nice to see you, love. Ashley, it's nice to see you. Look at the pure statistics of two siblings disappearing at the same time. And I know many people bring up the West case, but if you actually follow the court hearing, I know that they were reported missing at the same time, but they weren't. One died a significant amount of time sooner than the other one. And, I think it was even months from one to the other. So I'm sorry. I don't know of really any case where two siblings, maybe that's what we need to look at. What cases where to, let's see. What cases do we have where two siblings disappeared at the same time? So we got Danette and Jeanette Millbrook, and these were fraternal twin sisters from Augusta, Georgia, and they disappeared March 18th, 1990, after getting gas and visiting a friend. They were 15 years old at the time and have not been seen since. Of course, Lilly and Jack Sullivan are on here from Nova Scotia. We also have Charles and William Vossler. Two brothers were abducted by their father, Charles Vossler, in 1986. The father told their mother he was taking them on a weekend trip, but he had sold his business, cleaned out his bank account, and disappeared with the boys. Their whereabouts have been unverified since, but it sounds like he took off with his kids. And then we have Elizabeth and Jasmine Ramos. These sisters disappeared with their mother in 1998 when they were 1 and 36 years old, respectively. So the sisters were 1 year old and their mom was 36. The mother's body was later found, but the girls were discovered safe in a public park restroom and placed in foster care. So that doesn't have anything to do with them. That was a solved case. So there's not many. There's just not many. And I don't know what happened in Danette and Jeanette or Charles and William's case. I guess those would be interesting to look in. Orrin, Orson, West, but I don't think they're added to that because of the fact that they didn't disappear at the same time. Their parents are in prison for the rest of their life, and it was determined that one of the children were removed a month or more from the home before the other child ended up disappearing as well. So yes, they were reported at the same time, but court records prove that they didn't disappear at the same time. They were months apart or a month apart. I can't remember the details of that, but I remember it was after the court hearing, it was much different than what was said. It was sad. It was sad because it sounds like some of their kids had to help them. I can't imagine. Anyways. All right, guys, I just wanted to give you guys the new update. I'm so thankful that these children are at least getting attention and people are still searching for them. And I just wish, I pray to God we can get somebody to help search for Sebastian, because I think if we leave it to Sumner County, they'll never search for him again. They gave him 8 days. They're done. I think they checked out of this case before it even started. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Something that somebody sent me that we're going to go over tomorrow with Sebastian Rogers' case rubbed me the wrong way. It rubbed me the wrong way. My green screen, I'm still not comfortable with it. We might do something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm still not liking the quality of it, so I'll play around with it a little bit more. Like the brighter the morning is, it's just that the window is just bringing in too much light and it's causing issues. So I'm probably gonna have to black out the window and get a couple lights, professional lights in there, just to have some even lighting in the office. So we'll have a much crisper, cleaner. It's a studio. John Skeleton. Oh, thank you, Life Interrupts. They're arresting him for homicide, 3 homicide charges for his 3 sons. He's not walking out of jail. He was about to get out of jail, and they pulled the trigger and charged him. And the mother, obviously it was hard for her, but she finally went to the courts and had them deemed deceased and got death certificates for him. And so that's got to be tough for a parent. But they went ahead and arrested John. I think that's what his name is, John Skeleton, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, John Skeleton. All right, guys. Well, that's all I really have. The guy who has the 3 sons went to prison. They have never been found. Yeah, but they just arrested him literally just in the last 30 days for homicide for those children. So, yeah, they disappeared at the same time, but, if we look at the case, it's a homicide case. So, that doesn't look good, especially for these kids, because at the end of the day, this is I guess this is one of the things that I like to stress on my channel, is that when we were growing up, at least in my era, I was born in 79, so I was an 80s and 90s baby. If you're an 80s and 90s baby, you know what I'm talking about. We were taught a lot about the buddy system, about stranger danger. Nobody ever talked to us about domestic violence. Nobody ever talked to us about statistically more violence being in our home than outside of our home. They just terrified us with we're riding our bike alone and being abducted. Now that I'm in this, and I can tell you, for my entire childhood and adult life, I was none the wiser to that. That's what I learned in school, that, worry about strangers. Now, I've been a domestic violence survivor. I've dealt with a lot of domestic violence type of advocacies. And I can tell you, it wasn't until I did true crime that I realized the true statistics of stranger danger are only the 0.1%. You know how you say, oh, I'm 99.9% sure. You know how you joke about that? Well, there's still that 0.1%, right? Well, that 0.1% is truly the number for stranger danger. Yet my entire life, I always eyeballed strangers as being the predators. And I think that was a horrible life lesson, because it took me until I was 40 years or older before I realized that people are more likely to die at the hands of someone they know and love than they are anybody else in the world. That's stinking scary. That's stinking scary. How many of y'all are single? You're probably the smartest guy. I'm gonna stop. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm gonna pull a Charlie Kirk and tell you guys need to get married and make 1,000 babies, okay? And be happy. But in all fairness, that is all these cases. That's why they're very similar. That's why I look for very specific stuff in the cases, because once I start seeing that, I know where the case is going. And you guys hear me say all the time, I heard what I needed to hear. I saw what I needed to see. And that's what I'm talking about, you know, because in all these cases, we know that they're pretty much similar. I mean, they have different details. They have different faces. They have different names. But from case to case, it'd be shocking how familiar and a lot of these cases, how they are similar. You know, they as much non-similar items that they have just as many similar items and similar traits from one another. So it's quite interesting. But you can really start, if you start noticing those traits, you can really, like with Ashley Buzzard, you can really pick that stuff up really quick when things aren't fitting in a box. You know, everything fits in a box perfectly, right? Well, that case wasn't fitting in my box. It just wasn't fitting in my box. Something was wrong. Okay, in this case right here, it's fitting in a box. Okay, it's fitting in a very specific box, and it sucks. So now it's coming down to which one was it, who knows what, and how did it happen. That's where we're going to have problems. Somebody was moving around. Okay, if there's cameras out there and stuff like that, there has to be some evidence of somebody moving around. Somebody was moving around. Okay, there's no way that this happened without someone moving around. Okay, someone trying to move around undetected. But there's some evidence of somebody moving around. I truly believe it. I truly believe it. All right, guys, you guys have yourself a wonderful evening. We have another video coming out. I actually was going to do the video at 4:30, and then obviously scheduled this live, and then obviously started working on a video about this live, and then came to this live 15 minutes late today. So I was late to my own live. I cannot believe it. I'm so sorry. But we made up for it. We made up for it, not much. I gave you an extra. I'll see you guys. You guys aren't done with me yet. I'm gonna be dropping in a couple hours. We'll have another video dropped on Melody Buzzard, and then I might, if you guys are lucky and I'm feeling inspired, I might do another live. I might go in the office and screw around with the green screen. I don't know. We might do something. I don't know. You know, the world is my oyster. I don't know. I got nothing but time, and I got no plans. So we'll see. We'll see where we go. You know, the night's young, babes. That's all I'm saying. And it's a Monday. You know, you guys probably are just exhausted and tired. You guys had to go to work, right? We're all getting kind of excited and already getting kind of lazy because we know Thanksgiving's coming up, and we're just waiting for the damn holiday to get here. Because you know you don't like your in-laws. You just want the turkey. You can admit it. We're on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're all about the truth over here. You can sit over. We won't tell nobody, unless your in-laws are a big Bullhorn Betty fan. Then you might tell on yourself. So you might want to ask before you acknowledge it in the chat. I'm just saying, okay? We don't want Aunt Betty over there getting all upset, saying, "What? You're here for the turkey." No, just the sweet potato pie. No. I won't lie. I'm going to Thanksgiving. I'm showing up because I want some gravy. Okay, I'm going to show up. I want some gravy. I got the ham this year. Guess what I got? You guys should know. I got salted caramel glazed ham. I'm bringing salted caramel. Okay, I don't know if you. What is this fixation with caramel? I've had it for a year. You guys see that stuff, that salted caramel? I use that squirter thingy every single morning. I love the taste of caramel coffee. Going to a buffet. I'll cook at Christmas. Life interrupts it, so yeah, whatever. I love that. I love that. I know there's a lot of people going to buffets, so hopefully you get in. I don't know. Every time it's Thanksgiving, I see those buffets. They have lines out the door, wrapped around the buildings. I'm saying, dear Lord. I get them all the time on holidays. They are awesome. I have one in my fridge. You will steal the show with that ham. I love caramel ham. I've never had, I've always had the honey ham, whatever. But I saw that in there in salted caramel, and you guys know me and my love. I mean, I don't know. I have this love for caramel. What do you want? A caramel shake? Yes, please. What do you want? Caramel coffee? Yes, please. You just want straight caramel? Sure, why not? Just give me some caramel. Girl, there's caramel. I'm so in. Yeah, there you go. That caramel has it. Yes! I don't know what it is. It's just creamy. It's just it's ooey gooey good. It's ooey gooey good. It's ooey gooey good. Okay. Well, guys, let me know what you think about this whole search thing. Where do you think these kids are? I mean, let me ask this. Do you think they're out there in Lansdowne Station? I think that's got to be the question. Do you think they're out there in Lansdowne Station? And do you think they're buried or in water? I mean, like, what do you guys think? We obviously, very, very little of us actually believe that these children wandered off and this is an accident. Okay, at least I don't. The reason why I don't is because I think that after that, just much like Sebastian Rogers, if he had simply wandered off, they would have found him, alive or deceased, but they would have found him above the ground. And I felt like they like went overboard in their searching, their ground search of this area, and just thinking that these kids could not have possibly gotten that far. They would have had to stumble across their remains. I mean, I don't see the kids crawling up under a bush. That makes no sense. So I don't know. I don't think anybody really believes that they wandered off. So we obviously, the majority of us, I'm only speaking to the people that believe this, the majority of us at minimum believe foul play is involved. We believe foul play is involved. I don't think that there's any inference in my mind with the evidence that we know about this case that there's any inferences other than foul play, despite what the RCMP is telling us. We're not going to expect the RCMP to say, yeah, we got a homicide investigation going on here, and we're kind of looking at the parents over here. I don't expect them to do that. But I can't think of anything where we have all of this. It's the pink blanket, okay? I'm sorry, it's the pink blanket. It will, they would have had a good, clean ride, even though I didn't really believe the boot print. The boot print could, in all fairness, have been explained, okay, reasonably. Okay, it could have been. It's the pink blanket. The pink blanket, after the pink blanket, that was it for me. And it wasn't even after the pink blanket. I already knew it was planted. I felt in my heart and soul that pink blanket was planted somewhere. So, but it wasn't until it was acknowledged as being planted, because just because I feel it was, doesn't make it so. So it was once Daniel acknowledged that pink blanket was planted in RC. Well, he didn't acknowledge it was. He acknowledged that RCMP acknowledged that the pink blanket was planted. Once I had that was corroboration. I knew that pink blanket, that is what put all the other puzzle pieces together. The puzzle pieces were there. They were aligned. We've been talking about them. We believe that, Malehya and Daniel did something to these children. But it really wasn't until the pink blanket that solidified it for me. And then, but it does go back to the boots, life interrupts as well, because after, that was still inferences too, because technically the children could have made those boot prints at some point in time. They were doing some things, even though they were trying to pass them off as just happening. They could have been there for a while. They're not experts on foot impressions, okay? So if they knew that they were there and that they were recent, then they most likely put those there too. But we could inference that. But that was still stretching it. Those could still be explained away. The boot prints could still be explained away reasonably, okay? But the pink blanket can't. Because this is how it goes. With that pink blanket, first and foremost, if these children simply wandered off, there would never be a reason for anybody to need to plant anything or to try to sway a search to go in a different direction or anything like that, okay? Once that pink blanket was identified and acknowledged as planted, that's when you knew there's foul play. Because again, who the hell's going to plant a pink blanket on a tree? And it had to have been planted in the middle of the night. Okay? Who would do that if not but to try to change where somebody is searching? So that was the nugget that you needed to find out, were these people being truthful or not? And then when you heard Daniel out of his own mouth explain where the blanket was to begin with, and he talks about this blanket being at the bottom of a 60-gallon bag, and there was one singular hole. So that means nobody in this world would have known where that blanket was in a 60-gallon bag except for the person that put that blanket in that 60-gallon bag. So whoever did that reached right in there, put a hole through it, grabbed a piece of the blanket out, and took it and planted it. There is no other person but somebody inside of that home. So now we know that somebody inside that home planted the pink blanket. There's only two people inside that home, and that is Daniel and Malehya. And Daniel and Malehya just so happened to both be at that camper that night when that pink blanket was planted. It happened in the middle of the night. It had to have, because they got bus footage. And I don't know how. I think, Sonia, I think you accidentally blocked Brandy. Oh. That's why you blocked her. Gotcha. Never mind. I was looking at the last comment didn't seem too bad, but I went up there and I'm like, whoa. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. Nobody wants to hear that crap. But it's probably a guy. Because I don't see girls doing all that. I believe it hung up on the tree when they were by the four-wheeler and they didn't know it at first, so they buried the blanket in the bag. Well, he talks about the hole being in like a punch hole right through the plastic bag. I believe it hung up on the tree when they went by on the four-wheeler. But the pink blanket never left the house, from my understanding. And they didn't know at first, so they buried the blanket in the... That Brandy chick's comments were so weird, because she's a troll. Somebody waited to troll the chat. These people, they're mentally unstable. Nobody spends this much time on a content creator they can't stand. They just don't. Okay, I'm sorry. No normal person would do that. Okay, I'm sorry. Anybody that does that crap is not normal. I don't know what you are, but you're not normal. When they were, you're saying you think that they were, I would think that they would have had scent on them. They would have DNA on them. That blanket would have something that would have been, and if that was the case and they used that pink blanket for something like that, it would have had the evidence on it. They would have been in jail. Sorry, typing fast, skipped words, got it. Yeah, no, they were. I think that if they were wrapped in that pink blanket to move or something like that, there would be evidence of that, because you shed a lot of cells. You shed different scents from even moments after you lose your life. Your scent starts changing. Your body starts breaking down almost immediately. And so those things, I think, would have been, the four-wheeler was washed and cleaned, but the blanket probably wasn't. The blanket probably wasn't, because they didn't have a washer or dryer there, because that's why they were going over to Patty's house. Malehya's grandmother was to wash the clothes. That's what they were doing on April 30th, was washing clothes, and that was the night that Lily got the black eye. So I don't know. I don't want to say no. Thank you for the party hat. I don't want to say no, but, we're all throwing stuff out here, but it just seems to me that it was intentionally planted. I kept listening, and I brought it up several times about how I felt, based on what Daniel was saying, that he wasn't really searching for the kids as much as he was running around watching the searchers. And then we find out that there was a pink blanket planted. And I said, if we find out that pink blanket was planted, I believe Daniel was watching them and felt that they were getting a little close to something and tried to pull the search in a different direction. So, and he was kind of moving around rapidly, because you got to think that when we learned about this case, we also found out RCMP worked through the night searching for the kids. They didn't stop. So, yeah, there's too much odd. Definitely. I think at the end of the day, the majority of us believe in the foul play. And I know law enforcement is trying to dissuade us from thinking that, but I think at this point, it's kind of a given at this point. Otherwise, the children would have been found dead. And that's the point. No matter how you look at this case, if these kids just wandered off at this point, they would have been found deceased. There's no way that they would have lived this long out there in the wilderness. They would have succumbed to the elements and the conditions, and they would have been found on top of the land wherever their bodies just finally gave out. And it would have been a horrible, death, so to speak, because they would have just basically starved to death. But that's not happening. That didn't happen. They would have been found had that happened. Had that been the case, if those been the details of this case, these children would have been found deceased, and we're not there. So something else is going on. We all know that. We all feel it. We know that because our experience tells us that this case isn't right, and we trust our gut when our gut tells us this case isn't right, because we do this. You guys are here literally every day, hours on end, scrolling through all of these cases. You guys know just as well as I do, some of these things are second nature. It's like, oh, well, here we go again, right? This one has a few nuances, but this has got some key red flags in it, and some key critical components. That pink blanket is huge. That pink blanket being planted is huge. That pink blanket being planted is the catalyst that says this case is, for me, that this case is foul play. You see how that works? Because the law enforcement acknowledged that they believe that's planted. Nobody would plant any evidence in a missing person child case. Okay? Nobody. Unless they're trying to get attention away from a certain area. And if that's the case, then they're acknowledging that there's something more here than children just wandering off. And that smells like foul play. So, anyways, take the information with you. I'm glad they had another search. I really wish that we had a law enforcement that cared for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers as much as these law enforcements across the United States care about their missing children. It sure would be nice. But I'm glad people are still searching for these young siblings, Lilly and Jack Sullivan. Lilly, 6, and Jack, so she's going to be turning 7 soon, and Jack 5. Just a shame. All right, guys, see ya sometime later tonight or in the morning, and we will have our conversations. Tomorrow, I think we're going to be kicking it off with some Sebastian Rogers conversations. We've got a new report in that I'd like to go over, so we might go over that first thing in the morning, or we might wait and get my green screen up and running. We might just get the green screen up and running tonight. If I do a show tonight, we'll do it on Sebastian Rogers. If I don't, it'll be in the morning. All right, we'll see you soon.